When you're ready, we'll grab a hold of the strap in one block. We'll slide the block under the sacrum at the lowest height. So placing the block at the lowest height like so, you can see here, sliding that underneath the sacrum where we were just rolling. It's definitely gonna thunderstorm. Grabbing a hold of the strap, we'll hug the right knee in towards the chest here. And then wrap the strap around the sole of the foot, press the foot toward the ceiling here. So the hips are slightly elevated with the block. Notice how that feels, and notice how the back of the leg feels. That's probably where you're noticing the most sensation right now. Tight through the hamstrings and calves, perhaps from sitting a lot. Notice how that feels to just maybe move the ankle a little bit, flexing the toes toward the shin bone and then pointing the toes toward the ceiling. Notice how that changes sensation through the calves. Good, then we'll hold the ankle in neutral. And with the strap, just work with the arms, bringing the leg slightly away from you and then back towards you. So taking the stretch out of the hamstrings and calves for a moment and then bringing it back. Moving the leg away from you and towards you with your breath. On the inhales, moving it away. On the exhales, drawing the leg closer. Letting your arms do a lot of the work here by bending and straightening the elbows. Place both ends of the strap into the right hand here. Left hand can just be placed on the hip. And we'll take that leg out to the right side, so out to the same side. I'm running out of space here with the brick wall, but you can take it further than my leg is. Coming into a stretch for the inner thigh muscles, the inner hip muscles. Either holding there statically or drawing the leg back to center and out to the side again with your breath, whatever feels best. I might have to get up in a moment and close my windows if it starts to downpour. Good, we'll draw that leg back to center. From here, we'll return both hands so that one hand is on each end of the strap, and we'll come into a little exercise engaging the glutes in a single leg bridge. So this is optional. It is quite a difficult activity. We did warm up the glutes with just regular bridges at first. So what you'll do here if you're doing the activity with me is press that left sole of the foot into the ground and lift the hips up off of the block. So you will really want to engage that left side glute and hamstrings. Lower the hips back down to the block, or the sacrum back down to the block. And then again, press that left sole of the foot into the ground and see if you can lift the hips even just an inch off of the block. Lower down and lift up maybe one or two more times. Quite a difficult activity, really loading the hamstrings and glutes here. One last time. Good. We'll remove the strap. Hug that right knee back in towards the chest. Good. Keep that right knee hugging in towards the chest here, and we'll straighten out the left leg. So since we have the hips elevated with the block, you'll feel a nice stretch through the hip flexors of that left leg here, feeling into the psoas, into the quads. If you'd like, you can point the toes of that left foot, enhancing the stretch a little bit more, deepening it. At the same time, really hugging that right knee in towards the same side armpit. Deep breaths through the lower belly. Good. As you're ready, we'll bring both feet back down to the floor. Knees are bent. If you'd like, you can remove the block if you need a little break from it for a moment, and rocking the knees side to side, giving the hips a moment to settle before we do everything on the second side. When you're ready for the second side, slide the hips up, or slide the block underneath the hips, lifting the hips up. Block is on that lowest height underneath the sacrum still. Grab a hold of the strap, hugging that left knee in towards the chest. And then as you're ready, wrapping the strap around the sole of the foot, one end of the hand in each strap as you press the foot toward the ceiling. Notice where you feel sensation here through the back of the leg. Starting to work dynamically through some ankle movements. You might need to move the strap closer to the ball of the foot for this one, pointing the toes toward the ceiling and then flexing the toes toward the shin bone. And notice how that changes sensation through the calves. You might even feel it into the lower part of the hamstrings as well. Good. We'll bring the ankle back to a neutral position. Keep one end of the hand in each, or one end of the strap in each hand, and we'll take the leg away from you and towards you with the breath. So drawing the leg slightly away from you by straightening out the elbows with the inhale, bending the elbows, draw that thigh closer and towards you with the exhale. So we're taking the slack off of the hamstrings and then picking it back up again. Good. As you're ready, we'll place both ends of the strap into the left hand, just removing the right hand, place it on the hip. Draw that leg out to the same side, so out to that left side, and either holding there, feeling the stretch through the adductors, the inner hip, inner thigh muscles, or you can move dynamically, drawing the leg back to center and out to that left side. If you're working dynamically, use your breath to move, syncing your breath to your movement. Exhales can draw that leg back to center. Inhales, take it out to the side. Good. The next time the leg is back to center, if you're statically in the stretch, you can draw it back to center. We'll stay there. Placing both hands back on either end of the strap. This next exercise is optional, but if you did it on the other side, make sure you do try it on this side as well. Pressing the right sole of the foot into the ground, lifting the hips just an inch off of the block if you can. It's not a huge movement here. Lowering the sacrum back down to the block, giving the legs, glutes a rest, and then lifting back up again. Just lifting even slightly off of the block, lowering back down. With the inhales, lift up. Exhales, lower down. One more time. Good. We'll go ahead and remove the strap here. Hug that left knee back and towards you. And then we'll straighten out the right leg here on the ground, getting a nice stretch through the psoas and the hip flexors on that right side. You can point the toes of that right foot to enhance the stretch. Drawing that left knee in towards same side armpit. Breathing through the belly. Good. As you're ready, we'll bend both knees, set the feet back down onto the floor, carefully, mindfully lifting the hips up, sliding the block out, setting the hips back down, and windshield wiping the knees from side to side.